I think Pueblos should get some solar power. There's a big debate. I think it was in Florida. This is where Occupy and Tea Party had united, and they thought that you should be allowed to sell your solar power that you collected on your own rooftop to your neighbor. And that's a problem because the grid, the fucking electric companies, they that control all the electric and make all the fucking money off of this shit, they don't like you doing that. They want to profit somehow. So they're like, no. And so some places they made it illegal. And frankly, I think we should completely think outside of the box. This is actually Adam Garrity. He said something about that, having a battery-based system. So that would actually put the power literally in the hands of the people. Literally, if we all had batteries. And then we could sell the energy to our neighbors or keep it, for a long time. So I don't see why that's even an issue. But apparently some places. Brooklyn, there's a Brooklyn startup, LO3 Energy. So LO3 Energy is revolutionizing the way homeowners buy and sell electricity. They're making it possible to auction rooftop solar power directly to your neighbors, creating a market for homegrown clean energy. And then it even says free range, gluten-free, fresh organic solar power right off your neighbor's roof. So this is LO3 Energy. It's a company being started out of Brooklyn. It's a big deal because, it just is. Rooftop solar has disrupted that model. In many parts of the country, you can install solar panels on your roof, generate your own power, and sell the surplus power back to the grid. In this model, both you and the grid buy and sell power. LO3 Energy goes one step further, allowing consumers to sell power directly to each. LO3's flagship product, the Transactive Grid Meter, works like a digital ledger, keeping track of who buys energy and how much they consume. It allows people to purchase electricity directly from their neighbor with the solar array. Consumers use an app on their phone to interact with the meter. The meter uses a blockchain, the technological breakthrough behind Bitcoin, to validate these purchases. So that's what they're doing, right? They have a meter. They're selling a transactive grid meter. And apparently you can have some sort of grid. I mean, apparently they're still talking about the grid. And when you get electricity that is put into the grid, you can't tell the difference if it came from a coal-fired plant or if it went, from some hydroelectric plant or a gas-fired plant or a wind farm. All the power sources act like a hose feeding water into the same pool. You can't tell the difference. You needed a third party to make sure that, you weren't going to just send $1 to this person and that everybody's getting $1 from you for the same, kilowatt hour. And usually that third party was a bank, but now through technology, if we all have the same information, we can transact with each other and simply update everyone's own database. So this allows people to do business directly with each other. LO3 is using Brooklyn as its test case, connecting dozens of homes through a digital network. The company plans to take its technology to other cities across the United States. This concept is taken off overseas with startups setting up electricity trading networks in Germany, Australia, and Bangladesh, which is a Muslim majority country, right? It's a good one, supposedly. Indonesia, Bangladesh, and I don't know, that Aslan. He said 3 of them. From EcoWatch.com. It's actually pretty complicated. They're like, basically it's a localized power generation. But from the grid's point of view, it's bad for business. LO3 is allowing customers to circumvent the grid and buy electricity directly from each other. Well, great. It says Kessler said the grid can use a digital meter to their advantage. In the middle of the day when demand for power peaks, grid operators typically turn to small, expensive, and heavily polluting gas-fired power plants. The grid could instead pay homeowners to shut off their lights, TVs, or appliances, or the grid could buy back electricity generated by rooftop solar panels or stored in electric cars. This would reduce transmission cost. The grid could buy back electricity generated by rooftop solar panels or stored in electric cars. The grid could pay homeowners to shut off their lights, TVs, or appliances. Of predominantly African-American homes of Broadway Heights in San Diego, that almost half of the 192 homes there have rooftop Solar panels. Neighbor after neighbor brag about how much money they're saving. They're paying $200 to $300 a month in electric bills. Now they're paying $0 to $50. Now I can get my air conditioner, said some 62-year-old. And then you have under a wide variety of state and federal policies and funding mechanisms, and under both nonprofit and for-profit business models, such families are changing the face of renewable energy, broadening the diversity of solar customers with respect to race and income. In the Union of Concerned Scientists, the original attraction was less about getting away from fossil fuels than getting away from the high energy bills associated with those dirty fuels. A 2016 report by American Council for Energy Efficient Economy